Welcome once again here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. My name is Paul Condry, President and Founder of Regional Radio Sports. Glad to have Scott Cooper here today. Coop, welcome here to show number 2. We're excited about the advancements of the school year. Things are moving well here on the South Bend campus.
Yeah, everything's been going great. We just finished up our Night of the Titans fundraising and awards dinner last night for the university, and really grateful to that group that put that together. All the proceeds went to athletic scholarship funds, and Chris Kraft, who was the top honoree of the evening, was a big driver in that, and so we're very thankful for him and First Source Foundation. All right,
let's just talk about some of the advancements that you're making here in the early stages of the new school year. Anytime you go into that summer aspect, people don't understand that there's a lot of work that goes on during the summer, and there's really no time off for an athletic director. There may be a little bit of basketball time up for you as the basketball coach, but athletic director's duties really kind of take precedent during the summer. So you're trying to navigate that as well, spend time with your family. So let's talk about some of the things that you worked on during the summer that are starting to show some fruit, if you will, and some of the projects you have going on.
Yeah, the first thing we did is, we're really big on facilities this summer and trying to make our facility a little bit more functional for everybody. So, we are working on a varsity weight room right now. It'll serve everybody at the school, not just athletics, but, a varsity-style weight room. So we had to put in, simple thing like putting in a wall to make that a safe space for us. The next project, or part of that, will be putting in flooring and new equipment. We were able to update our recreational courts so that we could have all of our teams practice over there if we needed to have more practice at one time, so that our athletic trainers weren't stretched thin. And women's soccer here, these two will understand when they get into the spring that they're going to be down there a lot because of the weather, and took out some benches there to make that a safer space for them to participate in practice in. And just little things like that we're really doing on. And then we've been on a big fundraising kick lately, trying to help enhance our experience and raise money for scholarships and stuff like that, so that our student athletes can have the best experience we can possibly provide them. And it's gone well. We're excited about the direction we're moving.
I know Bobby Barnes' soccer team making great progress, and I know Callie's volleyball team's way ahead of schedule in regards to wins from last year. So both the teams in the fall really making some significant strides.
Oh, huge. And it's been fun to watch, too. I was at the women's soccer game the other day there, and, they lost to a good team, but, man, they looked at 100 times better than they have in the past. The progress they're making, the buy-in from the athletes has been great. Same with the volleyball team. They've already got more wins than they had last season, and, if they can clean up some mistakes, they're going to be right in the mix in their conference as well. And, I'm taking it back to these two here since they were a big part of this the other day, but game over at Anderson University, was it a minute left? Is that right? Yuli here hits a 30-yard bomb in the upper left-hand corner there to tie the game up. At the last second, the equivalent of a buzzer beater, I guess, in basketball. That was exciting and terrible for me to watch. I don't believe in ties, so I
totally agree with you on that one.
But it was neat to see them be able to stick through things like that, because that wouldn't have happened a few years ago. And we're really excited about the progress they're making. And by the time this airs, hopefully we'll have our first conference win tonight, and feeling pretty good about the direction they're going.
Well, before we jump into talking to the student athletes here today and talk about Bobby's soccer team, let's talk about the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Mount Mary coming in as a new team in the league. So as we're looking at the landscape of the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference, for the people who are not aware of where the league is going, can you kind of shed some light on the dynamics of the league? Because since you and I have been working together here in the last 15 years, I mean, the map is all over God's green earth. Let's make no mistake about it. That there are schools that we thought were going to be really dynamic. Next thing you know, 3 years later, they're closed. And we've had schools merge. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's just a trend we're seeing in higher education, but the NAIA is really trying to take advantage of that situation and add membership. And in our case in particular, we're in a very saturated market with a lot of NCAA Division III and Division II schools that are deciding right now what their future looks like in athletics with everything that's going on. And, Mount Mary's a great example of that. They were a NCAA Division III school that was in a conference that was called, appropriately named, Coast to Coast Conference. So they had to go all the way out to the West Coast, all the way out to the East Coast for conference games, which is crazy for them. And so they decided, their athletic director's a former Cardinal Stritch volleyball coach, actually. So she's a former, very familiar with the CCAC, and, figured it would be a better financial and geographical fit for them to join our league, especially as a Catholic school. There's an awful lot of those in our league as well. And so they decided it was the best to make the move. They joined the league this past year. Now they're in Milwaukee. Now they have, all their drives are within 3 hours. And, we're excited to have them. I know it'd be great if they had men too. It's an all-women's school. But, today will actually be our first competition against them in school history. So the women's soccer team will be traveling up to Milwaukee. They will be the first ones in school history to play against them. And we have potential other members that are exploring opportunities, too, that are within our geographic footprint. So we'll see what happens there. But, it's an exciting time for us because I think the growth is going to directly impact us in a positive way.
What's the time frame from the time that a school would have an inquiry about joining the league to time it would potentially take to be a part of that? Are you privy to any of that kind of dynamics?
Yeah, we have some input into it as athletic directors. Not a lot, other than just being informed on it. But it kind of depends on what the school's needs are, what their facilities like. So there's a review process that they go through to see if it's financially stable for them, and it's the right move. And then there's a review process from the NAI and from the conference where they go up and make sure that they have the resources in place to be a positive member of our organization. And then once that happens, it then goes to a vote with the presidents within the conference and with the NAI. And assuming everybody's on board, the whole thing can be done in a year in the best case scenario, but sometimes takes longer than that depending on the situation.
I know that you have the total mindset of buying in. As a former college athlete, and as an assistant coach, and as a head coach, and now as the AD, you find yourself in a situation where you understand the process as well as anybody does. So you brought a couple young ladies with us here today, a part of Bobby's soccer team, and I know we want to talk to them here, but kind of give us an idea that how important that is for the athletes to know that you've been in their shoes. You understand some of the things. It may not have been at the NEI level. That's really kind of irrelevant. It's the fact that you've been in their shoes. You understand what it's like. And so talk to me about the importance of the athletes that are under your umbrella, if you will. Understand, been there, done that.
Yeah, well, first you have to have good coaches in place who can create that buy-in, that have been there and done that, I think. And that's always difficult. But I think that next, especially with our newer sports like women's soccer, you've got to be able to sell a vision because it's not going to happen right away. All the resources aren't going to be in place right away. Your team's going to be younger, and these two don't know this, but the best thing we always say about freshmen and sophomores is that they become sophomores and juniors. So the experience that they gain, and as they get better, as athletes and as players, and smarter and able to handle their business in the classroom better, and all those type of things, that takes time, and you have to have a team full of them, and that takes time as well. It doesn't just happen overnight. It can take years and things to build up, but you're starting to see the fruits of that. Is now, like I said, our women's soccer team is incredibly more competitive. They're starting to hang with very good teams, and the next step for them is how do they win some of those games, and once they start winning those games, how do they compete at the top of the conference, and what do we need to do for them to provide that support so that they see that the university's invested into them as well, and we are, I promise. But again, that doesn't just happen overnight just because you put together a team and give them a few bucks. It takes time, it takes work, and you got to have everybody moving in the same direction.
All right, we got Addie and Yuli here, and we're going to be talking about them. And Addie is a freshman. She is next to Coach Cooper. Yuli's on the far end. We're glad to have her. She is a sophomore. We're going to talk about Coop's going to do a little bit of interview with them. But my question I have for the student athletes, Coop didn't do any recruiting, okay? I mean, of you two guys. But our good friend Bobby Barnes, who just so happens to be on the other side of the camera here today.
No pressure.
Well, so let's talk about what it was like during the recruiting process of understanding where Bobby's coming from. Two things I love about Bobby Barnes. Number one, he's got a heart for kids, got a heart for his faith, but also the fact that he has a tremendous vision. And for him to create this soccer program during COVID, and for it to survive during those, I'm going to use the term lean years, for you guys to be in a position that I have tremendous amount of respect for Bobby for doing that. So, Addie, let me start with you. What was it like during the process of being recruited, and why did this become your home?
I started the process super early. I decided probably my junior year that I wanted to play college soccer. I live in Angola, so my local university is Trine University, and I took some classes there, and so talked with the coach there, and it just didn't quite fit the way I wanted it to. And then I reached out to Bobby, and I didn't even send film over. I had no idea what I was doing, but he said, send me your game schedule if you have any games over in South Bend or down in Indy. I'll probably be down that way, so I'll make it to a couple of them. And thankfully, we had several tournaments that were at Newton Park, which is our home field. So that ended up working out. But I was just in contact, and it just kind of fell. I came to the campus. Academics is a lot to me. I kind of struggle in that bigger area of students. So to be able to come here and get an IU degree while also having like a max cap of probably 30 students per class, that was a big thing for me, just so that I could strive academically. But then also all the girls on the team were so welcoming. It doesn't matter what grade you're in. The seniors act like your best friend even if you're a freshman. So also the dynamic of the team, it felt like home.
All right. Yuli, your thoughts on why the whole Bobby Barnes thing's worked out for you?
Bobby's a character. I love him. He's great. As a coach, he knows what he's talking about. Our practices aren't just filled with useless drills. We get a great practice out of it. Love scrimmaging. That's a great one. We have a new header game. That's been a fan favorite. Definitely like to battle between the teams and see who comes out on top most practices. But he's just very welcoming. He makes you feel like a person, not just an athlete or not just his student. So to be able to connect with him, not just on a coach and student aspect, is a little bit nicer than, you could be treated a lot worse.
Okay, Ms. Gallegos, tell me about your thoughts on what it was like being recruited by Coach Bobby Barnes.
I think I come from a different recruiting process. I'm actually a transfer student from St. Mary's. My transfer was very late this year. I didn't decide to transfer until like mid-July, and I had reached out to Bobby. I think it was the night right before their ID camp, and he just told me to come out and show him what I had. So I came out, and I just fell in love with the team. Everybody was so welcoming, and it just felt like home for me. So that's when I decided I wanted to play soccer. Because at first, during the process, I was just thinking of just coming here for like scholarships and just like for school in general. I wasn't really thinking about playing until one of my friends who also transferred or decided to play this year, she reached out and told me to come out with her. So I decided to reach out to Bobby and just try it out.
Okay, great to hear. Scott, I know you've got some questions.
Yeah, all right, so now that you've been a part of the program for a minute, I've heard some things about soccer tennis.
Oh.
And I first of all, as a person whose entire soccer knowledge is derived from Ted Lasso, you're going to have to explain that one to me a little bit.
Do you want to go? Do you want me to?
Go for it. You got it.
It's basically, I think we play, 6v6 or sometimes 7v7?
I don't know. It kind of depends on like the area that you play in. We don't play the functional way.
We played in the center circle the other day. So, but one person serves it, so they drop kick it, and each team gets one bounce on their court. And there's it has to be waist high. We decided it had to be waist high. There were some problems the other day.
Trial and error.
But it's just one bounce, and I don't think there's a limit on our hits that we get.
No. I could hit it 5 times and then hit it over. Yeah. It's not much of that, but.
So we're using the term tennis loosely.
Yeah.
Sounds okay.
Or like the other day, I think it was before our game at Anderson, we were playing over a goal, like a full-size goal. We were playing soccer tennis over that. So that was a struggle.
That seems difficult. Yeah, again, in a game where you have to catch the ball with your feet is a different kind of task for me. So tell me about, you guys' season so far. What's the mood within the team? I know sometimes when you're up and down and all over the place and you're right there in a couple of those games that could have gone either way, it can be difficult. But from the outside looking in, I haven't seen that at all. I think the morale, at least from what I've seen, has been very high. Talk about that.
I just think so. Preseason was great. I've never connected more with a soccer team than I did with those girls there. And I was spending 4 hours a day with those girls. I mean, you can get tired of someone pretty quick when you're spending every day with them for 4 hours. But I didn't get sick and tired of them. I would hang out with them before practice, after practice, all that fun stuff. We'd go out and do stuff. So I think personally as a team dynamic, we get along really well. Even when you get into those tight-knit games, it's you uplift each other. You're going to have those times where, like, one person says something and it can come off as snobby or rude in that moment, but you kind of just have to, like, push through that and know that it's in the best of heart of them for why they're telling you that. So I just think we have a really good team dynamic. Starters, non-starters, we all get along really well, and I feel like we all play along really well.
Yeah, I would say the same. I wasn't here for preseason, so I didn't really get to connect with any of them until, like, the first practice of the season. But I think coming in as someone totally new to them, they were all very welcoming, especially, like, the upperclassmen showing you the ropes of, like, what practice is supposed to be, how school's supposed to go, how you're supposed to act, like, as a student athlete. I think that they were very helpful in that sense of showing us. But just coming in, everyone was so welcoming. They didn't really care where I came from, because I know we versed them last year, so I thought there was going to be some, bad blood there, but no, they're all welcoming. And when it comes to the games, like, especially against Anderson when we were down 1-0, I think everyone was just trying to uplift each other at halftime. We just kept telling each other, like, we got this, like, we just got to keep going. And just during the game, you can all hear us talking to each other, just, like, encouraging us, like, just to keep going. And then we eventually got a goal in. But I think this team is great when it comes to tight games like that and just, like, keeping each other up and their spirits up.
So it's interesting you say that, because that was going to be my next question, and I've talked about this with Bobby, but one of the things we saw in the past as the team was kind of being built, and we weren't all necessarily, college-level soccer players yet, but is there was a lot of, I don't want to say splintering, that's too strong a word, but there wasn't the same kind of enjoyment for somebody else's success as there is now, and just seeing the game at Anderson, Yuli, where you hit that shot at the end there to tie it, which is still completely unnatural, but you guys are excited about it. That's fine. Or the game at home against Albion, where Riley Cotton made the save on the penalty kick, which even I know is pretty impressive. It was really neat to see the support, even from the girls that weren't playing. Like I thought Anna Estrada was going to pop a blood vessel when Riley made that save, or the way that people came onto the field when you guys tied. Again, I don't understand that part of it, but for me personally, as an athletic director and somebody who, again, doesn't know a whole lot about soccer, seeing that it makes me really optimistic about the direction we're going, that even through tough times that you guys can be excited for each other's success. That's not a small thing. Is that, again, this is me purely, is that something that happens a lot? Is it?
No, I don't know. High school was a tough time for me. The community and the chemistry between the girls, it really does matter. It's a life or death situation. I hate to say it, but it really does make a difference, and it doesn't matter upperclassmen or not. It's a whole different community. It's just a different level of connection between the girls, and hearing the upperclassmen even say it, like this new group of freshmen and transfers and incoming people are great. It means a lot both ways, I think.
Scott, let me ask you a question in regards to being the coach. Can you create chemistry, or is that something strictly that comes from the athletes and their background and their buy-in? I mean, I look back on the great group of kids that you had a trio of kids from Indianapolis with Dylan and that great group. And that group, no one really cared who got the credit. No one really cared who scored the most points. No one really cared about anything else other than at the end of the day you won a ball game. Can you create that as a coach? Because I get the impression, as the more I've talked to Bobby and talked to Bobby's athletes, I think he's created that dynamic by the way and the type of athletes that he's recruited.
That's exactly the piece, and our piece in the formula. And everybody wants the coach to be the person who sets the quote-unquote culture, but really all culture is holding people to a standard and making sure they're accountable to that, making sure you're preaching that. But ultimately you have to have kids that are willing to do that, and that's part of the reason I asked that question is you can recruit it. You ask about it during the recruiting process. Like, hey, exactly that question. I ask that quite a bit. Is when I'm recruiting a kid, are they happy for somebody else's success? Are they the kid that has to have 20 points in a game or a goal in a game or whatever it happens to be in order to be happy? Because the kid who has to have 20 points in a game or has to have a goal in a game, they're going to tear your culture apart, no matter what you do as a coach. Whereas the kids who can be happy for somebody else's success, understands that, hey, Yuli hitting that goal is good for Addison, that group is going to be special, regardless of what happens on the field, and you're going to enjoy coaching that group a lot more, and they're going to enjoy the experience a lot more, which from the outside looking in, it looks like you guys are this year, So, I think like the coach's role is to, you can preach it all you want, but your coach's role is to try to find those kids, and that's not an easy thing to do, and just hope that, that they have the, whatever the right word is, the personality types that are going to blend well together when you do that.
Eddie, I've got a question about we throw the term love out a lot, but I don't think if you love your teammates, things just seem to be better in the locker room. It seemed to be better during practice. Seemed to be better on the bus. Can you honestly say with this group, from what you've been able to glean thus far, does this group love each other?
Yeah, I think so, and especially from the bench aspect. Like I'm definitely not a starter, so from me looking in, from bench looking in, I don't care about playing. I mean, obviously I care about playing time, but I'm not gonna be rude to my starters, my teammates, anything like that. Like I will uplift those girls no matter what. Make a good play. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it was okay. Like heck yeah, that was a great play. That was good. I hug one of my teammates every game. Say love you. It's a team aspect, and I love it. It's great. I do love all the girls on the team.
Coop, that's the greatest lesson that athletics teaches. If I'm in the hiring mindset, I'm going to hire someone. I want to hire someone in the real world after they leave college. I want them an opportunity that they're going to love their teammates and that they're going to do whatever it takes to help your team win. And to me, and I know you all want to win games. There's no question about that. And if anybody was telling you otherwise, then they're lying to you. But the reality of it is you don't care about winning games at the cost of not creating an attitude and a mindset that what's going to be the best for the athlete in the long run. To me, so my question is, future employer who's doing a Google search in 6 or 7 years when Addie's looking to move on, you need to hire her because that's the kind of team, that's that kind of person that you want on your team. Okay.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, she's talking to me about a student job here. After
there you go.
There we go.
Hire her. You got to hire her.
Yeah, good job, by the way. We don't need to interview anymore.
Yes.
But, no, I think that's exactly right, and I think that's one of the things that sports teaches is that not everybody's role is going to be the same, right? There's only one CEO,
right,
but everybody's role is important to what they do. So Addie, playing a different role than Yuli, both of what they do are going to be important to the success of the team, and if they're going to have that growth and stuff that we're looking for our women's soccer team, we need people like both of them to do that.
You got something new on the table tonight.
We've got our gimmick, all right? I'm pretty excited about this, so I know you two may have an idea what's coming here, but basically what we've done today is we want to know how well you know your teammates. So all this stuff you're talking about loving them, we're going to see if that's actually so what we've asked to do, we asked the women's soccer team we asked as many players as we could to name their top 3 television shows, their top 3 songs, their favorite 3 songs, and their favorite 3 movies. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each one of you separately, and then I'm going to have one question for each of you. Which teammate said this? All right, I'll give you 2 guesses because you guys have a bigger team.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to do this with a smaller team. All right, and then we're also going to have a bonus round for each one of where we'll pitch you 2 against each other.
Okay.
All that love's going out the door.
So do we get dilly bars?
Oh, my.
You're going to have to ask Coach Barnes on that.
Hey, I know he's got some in that freezer.
He's not messing around, I'll tell you that. I know he's got big plans for you guys today. All right, so I'm going to start with you, Yuli. I make sure to tailor these here to each one of you here. Try to make this as hard as I can.
Okay.
Which one of your teammates' favorite 3 songs are Hey Driver by Zach Bryan, Shot for Me by Drake, Hold Me Down by Daniel Caesar?
I don't know. I'm getting Erica vibes.
Wow. First guess.
Wow. Knocked it out of the park.
Start her tonight. She's ready to play. That isn't good. I did not expect this to happen.
Wow.
All right.
Uh-oh.
For you keeping us
Pressure is on.
Yeah. Good luck, Addie. You're in trouble.
You got it.
And matter of fact, she came in later than you, too. Remember that. That's
I know.
All right. Addie, same question to you.
Okay.
Favorite 3 songs. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Paul knows that one. Made for More by Josh Baldwin. And Vienna by Billy Joel. That's quite a list.
Wow.
I hate to say it, I don't even know the first 2 songs.
Do you know Vienna?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all right, well, that's pretty
yeah.
good for somebody your generation.
Ooh. So I'm assuming like older songs is. Those genres.
Older's a strong word, but let's.
Yeah, please. Please.
Yeah. Older for you, maybe.
Before my time.
These are prime Paul Condry years, I was all saying.
Yeah.
Who's an oldie but a goodie? I feel like Anna, maybe?
That's a no, but I'm going to give you one more guess.
Okay. Riley?
The answer was McKenna Taylor.
Oh.
Wow. She's my roommate, too.
Oh my.
That's great.
Wow.
Sounds like you two need to talk a little bit.
See,
more.
You do.
The thing is, when I play music in our dorm, she says she loves my music.
And maybe she does. Maybe she sounds like she's got eclectic taste here. So. All right. To both of you, whoever answers first.
Ooh.
All right. Whose favorite songs are, and I'm going to mess up the names of these. I apologize. Los Batones Azul by Junior H. I hope I'm getting that right. I apologize. Bonfire by Childish Gambino. And Listen Before I Go by Billie Eilish.
Is it Yuritsi?
Oh, shit. I'll tell you. Did you cheat?
There's
Did you
no
study this before?
way.
That was
That's
that is
amazing.
correct.
2 for 2.
That is correct.
Dang,
That's
I'm
my
looking
best
like a
friend.
bad teammate.
That's
right
Hall of Fame
now.
material. You're
That's next level. I don't know if you've been practicing or what, but that's outstanding.
You set this up beforehand.
I
Yeah,
wish.
I think
Listen,
I
I
made
just
a
found this
little
out this
early.
morning, to be completely honest with you. All right, round 2. Favorite movies.
Ooh.
Okay, now there's a lot of crossover in this. We don't have quite as variety of tastes in movies. All right, Addison, for you, which teammates' favorite movies are 10 Things I Hate About You, this is quite a list, Terrifier, and Disney's Tangled?
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. The amount of team bonding we've done, and I don't know. Ugh. What was the second one?
Terrifier.
I don't know that one.
If I remember correctly, that's a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went from horror to Disney to what was the first one called?
Teen romantic comedy. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh. I'm trying to I'm blanking on my teammates right now. Maybe Mia.
That is incorrect. One more try.
Fati.
No, the answer is Madison Stark.
Gosh.
All right. Yuli, to you.
If you get this one.
These are 3 great choices, by the way, for this next person. I have a newfound respect for this person. These are all animated movies. Sing 2, which was the first movie I ever took my oldest daughter to.
Yes.
Moana, and Coco, which is probably my all-time favorite Disney movie.
Oh, shoot. Okay. You said Moana, Coco?
Moana, Coco, and Sing 2.
I feel like that'd be Peyton.
That is incorrect. First time she got one
Wow.
wrong. One more guess.
Okay. That's hard. Those are good movies. I haven't watched those in forever.
Thinking too hard about it.
I don't know.
All right, that's
Kayla?
incorrect. We're out of time. No, the answer was Sofia Aguilera.
Oh!
All right.
Again with the roommate.
That one wasn't at least to you, so you're
Yeah.
all right. To both of you, first person to answer. The Hunger Games,
Oh, those are
Catching Fire. We've got a Hunger Games theme here. And 13 Going on 30.
Riley?
No.
I feel like. Oh, who's a nerd?
Who really likes the Hunger
nerd.
Games.
Yeah.
And also 13 Going on 30.
Oh. Alex?
The answer was Audrey Campbell.
Dang.
All right. Last round here. We're going to have to speed this up just a little bit to stay in time here. But, all right, this one's for Yuli. We start her. All right. Whose favorite 3 TV shows of all time are Narcos, Breaking Bad, and Tires? Let's dark themes here. All right.
Anna?
No.
Okay.
One more guess.
Alex, maybe.
Riley Cotton.
Oh!
All right. Same question to you, Ed. Scandal, Gilmore Girls, and the most popular choice on the women's soccer team out of everybody that filled out this form, The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh, that came out today, too. The first one was what again?
Scandal, Gilmore Girls, and The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Okay. I feel like that one could be like Jocelyn, maybe?
Nope, I'm going to give you one more guess.
Okay. Erica?
Look to your left.
Oh. Come on.
Yuli Gallegos.
You could have gave me a giggle or something.
So she was doing her best not to hold it back. That was outstanding. All right, bonus round. Last one here. All right. This person's favorite 3 television shows are Stranger Things, The Originals, and The Last of Us. Clearly, they have a lot of TV subscriptions because those are all on different networks.
Oh.
Stranger Things, The Originals, and The Last of Us. To both of you.
Alex?
Alex Chichester is correct.
Yay!
All
I got one.
There we go. So with the final score, we have 2-1 Yuli today. That was pretty good. I'm
Well
impressed.
done.
All right.
All right. Well, it's great to get to know you guys. Continued success to you and Coach Barnes on the soccer team. Coop, I know that you guys are gearing up for basketball. As a matter of fact, as we're taping, that's all going to begin this week and next week. So you excited about everything?
Yeah, I think we got a talented team. A lot of new faces this year for the first time in a while, but we'll have a chance to be in the mix if we can get it all together quick enough.
Will the CCAC coaches get together and pick a preseason poll and a preseason group? What can you tell me about that?
We do not really do that in our conference. It's born of the time when we had 15 teams in the league. And
Would you like to bring that back?
I would not, because I'm actually the guy who has to do all that. I'm the rater for the conference,
Okay.
so that makes a lot of extra work to
Okay.
figure out who the number 12 team in the league is. So, but no, I think it's wide open this year, and you could tell me anybody, and I'd believe you. I mean, it's really an exciting year for the men's basketball side of the league.
If there's one team that someone needs to, when they go out on the school website, and there's one game, one team that they need to see your team play against, who do they need to circle on the calendar?
Oh, the answer is always that team across town. When it comes down to us in Holy Cross, man, that's that's our favorite game of the year, and I can't tell you the date of it. That's terrible right now, but yeah, we're always looking forward to that one, man.
You can go. Nice thing about it, it's a round robin. You can go to both gyms at the same time.
Nobody wants to go to Holy Cross, so we won't.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll leave it at that. Once again, best of luck to everyone here at IU South Bend. Thanks to Coach Cooper, as always. As always, it's a privilege to be able to put the headset on here inside the Student Activity Center for Tanner Camp. My name's Paul Condry. God bless you all. Good night, everyone.